order, please. Please be seated. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here to the first day of the sitting of the Nova Scotia House of Assembly. On today's projected order of business, there is only one bill on the table, so without any further ado, we'll get right to it. I call upon the Honourable Premier to introduce the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to speak in favour of the bill entitled An Act to Restrict Governmental Financial Aid to Private Businesses. As you may already know, or as I hope you would know, numerous attempts of bailouts in the United States have failed terribly. We do not want to toy with the finances of Nova Scotia to put money into programs that could fail. Getting the money to put into these bailouts is actually taking away money from other essential programs such as education and health. Also, by taking money away from these other programs, which is actually unemploying some people, to put into other programs to employ more, we're actually not getting any further ahead. We're just creating the same amount of people who are employed and those who are unemployed. Bailout is nothing short of a game of chance. You don't know what's going to happen, and investing money into an already unstable business, there's simply no sense in it. Our party is building for growth, and bailouts are not the way to maintain financial stability.
I now call upon the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
At first, I'd like to say that this bill is absolutely outrageous. You're bringing up a point where the United States has failed in your eyes, but Obama has proven in various cases that if you pick the correct businesses that are viable, businesses that contribute and have contributed, this can and will help. Nova Scotia is based on a large amount of small businesses, and by letting these businesses fall in such hard economic times, you are unemploying many, many families. Nova Scotia is trying to look out for our backbone, for the companies and the businesses that promote us and that make us who we are, and by taking away these businesses and by not helping them, by letting them fail, we are only aiding to the problem in the economic struggle that we're in now. Our party, the Orange Party, has formed a coalition with the Red Party to ensure that these outrageous attempts are destroyed, basically. So I'd just like to leave it at that.
The Honourable Member from Annapolis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I believe that this bill, and we in the Red Party, believe this bill is not a responsible use of government policy to hurt and cut funding to mainly small businesses, which are the centerfold of Nova Scotia's economy. It will hurt the economy further and drive us into a longer, deeper recession. And we acknowledge the position of the Orange Party and look forward to working with them throughout the debate today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I call upon the Honourable Finance Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to present the third reading of Bill number 345, an act to restrict government financial aid to private businesses, in which it therefore be it resolved that the Province of Nova Scotia will not provide financial aid for any private business in the province that is unable to remain operational due to the recent economic downturn. This bill is not outrageous, as the opposition is stating. Bailing out small businesses that we cannot ensure are going to stay afloat is, quite frankly, a waste of money that is better applied in very important, vital sections of our economy. We have no fund for bailouts. We are not ever going to have a fund for bailouts that I'm aware of, and it would simply cut into important funding for other sectors of our economy, like healthcare, which I would remind everyone is currently 46% of our budget, and we are still, as we know, struggling. Bailing out is a huge risk, one that this government is simply not willing to take. We are not going to risk livelihoods of even more people. We are looking out for the good of all of Nova Scotia, and that is what this bill is to ensure.
The member for Halifax Atlantic.
Mr. Speaker, our finance minister has told us that they're looking out for all Nova Scotians. I'd like her to tell that to everyone who will lose their job due to this bill. It is absolutely outrageous that they would even think of cutting funding to all of our small businesses. Do they know what kind of problems that will cause? Do they know how many people will be out of jobs? Do they know that those people who will lose their jobs will not be able to find another job here because the jobs they will create will not be within their reach? They say that we're going to invest in healthcare. We're already investing a lot in healthcare. And we don't have enough nurses. We don't have enough doctors. Where are these doctors going to come from? Well, I can tell you that the people in these small businesses are not going to be able to fill those positions. This is going to tax the systems that they say they are going to put their money into. Welfare. Well, welfare, healthcare, all those are going to be taxed, and the people who are using it are people who can no longer put into the pot to make these systems available to anyone. They're destroying good taxpayers. By doing this, they're also going to kill small business. Small business, it'll become smaller each. They'll go into bankruptcy. Let's say they become smaller small businesses. Big businesses are going to come in and take. They're going to buy up everything we have, and where's the money going to go? It's going to go elsewhere. It's going to go overseas. It's going to go to the United States. It's going to go to Europe. It's not going to stay in Nova Scotia where we need it. The economic downturn was not something anyone foresaw. No one saw this coming, and the ones who did, we didn't hear. So how can the government claim to know when it's going to turn around? To know when this is going to get better? If they didn't have the foresight to see it before, how are they going to see it this time? Thank you very much.
Hear, hear.
Thank you. The member from Cape Breton South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance, when she rose to her feet, she did not give us a very clear and indicative picture of how this bill is going to be implemented. How will you enforce this bill? And how will the NSBI function with this bill? So, Mr. Speaker, since the Honourable Minister has not provided us any clear picture, I am going to just refer to the papers of the government to review why this bill is outrageous and why we must